for tuning in to TTB. I'm your host, Toya, and today is a Monday. So, Monday, we talk about meditation, we talk about reflection, and so today we are combining both of those once again, and we're going to talk about how you can use a meditation to reflect on what you need to focus on in your day to day life. So, when we think about the things that are important to us through our life, our family, our jobs, maybe you have some kind of hobby or something you do on the side, a business you're trying to start, something like that. Whatever it is, those things that are important to us, we have to really spend time and really focus on those so that we can improve that relationship or improve how we look at those tasks. And one of the ways in which to do it is to use meditation as a time to reflect on those things that are important to you and what you want out of it. So, to give an example, let's say it's a business that you're trying to start. Well, you would use meditation to sit back and focus on why you want to start this business. What's important for it? Why do you want this business to succeed? Why did you start it? So you look at those factors that are really important to you and to remember and keep focus on why you're doing it. It could be to raise the income so that you can quit your 9-to-5 job. It could be so that you have something to leave to your children. It could be just because of what it is you're going to be doing will help so many people. It could be for whatever reason to alleviate some of the stress from your spouse. Whatever reason you have for wanting to do that thing, sometimes we get so caught up in the doing and the busy work of it that we forget why we're doing it. And when we forget why we do it, we're neglecting the things that actually are helping us to get it done. So you start looking at it more as a task or more as a job or more as this thing I have to do, this chore, instead of looking at it as something that you want to do, that you're trying to succeed in doing. And we get caught up in the busy work, the little things that really, if we're honest with ourselves, could be put off. We really don't have to focus on that right now, this second, but we're doing it just to keep busy and make us feel like we're progressing towards it. So when you take a moment to stop and reflect on what it is that's important to you centered around that, then you can actually look at what it is that you're doing. Like, is it going along with what you're trying to do? Is it correlating with what you're trying to do? Or are you just doing a bunch of nothing? Because sometimes that's really what it boils down is we're doing a bunch of nothing and it has nothing to do with what we're trying to do. And the reason for that a lot of times is because you lose focus on what it is that you're trying to do and even why. Like I said, it becomes a chore. It becomes this thing that you just have to get done instead of this thing you want to get done, instead of this goal that you're trying to reach. So when we take a moment to stop and we meditate on it, we meditate on how we feel. We meditate on what is important for that. We meditate on what it is, the outcome that we want to see. And then from that, it will create the ability to focus more on it. And so that when you go down, you can actually sit down and look at what you're doing in a day and say, okay, you know what? 60% of this has to be trash because it has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. It feels like it at the time because you're moving and you're doing something, and it's progressing, and you're getting things done, and you're checking stuff off of a list, but the list has nothing to do with the goal. The list has nothing to do with where you're trying to go. The list has nothing to do with why you're doing it, okay? So when you take that moment to meditate and you take that moment to reflect, then you can really sit down and look at what you're doing so that you can alter it and change it so that it now suits what it is that you're trying to do. It can now suit that goal that you're trying to go after and that you're trying to reach. And so that's why you need to take that moment to just reflect on what it is that you're doing to give more focus to it. Because a lot of times we end up, like I said, we do all this busy work that doesn't have anything to do with what it is we're trying to do. So if you have this business that you're trying to do, and let's say you're starting it at home and you're out there like, I have to get the grass cut or I have to get these dishes done. Are clients coming to your house, honey? Because if clients aren't coming to your house, then you need to focus on other things that will actually attract your business. Maybe you need to be focusing on marketing. Maybe you need to be focusing on your business plan. Maybe you need to be focused on something other than what's going on in your house. Because if you're not having clients come to your house, the grass can wait. If you're not having clients come to your house, you can do those dishes once you complete those tasks that are actually going to do what you needed to do for your business. Maybe it's posting products. Maybe it's not that. Maybe what your goal is has to do with going to school, for example. Then, okay, yes, you need to go to school. Then you handle, because I remember when I was in school, my kids were little, okay, single digits little, okay, and I was working. At one point, I was even working 2 jobs and taking care of them and going to school, taking 2 or 3 classes. And what happened was, is at that time, okay, the main priorities for me were my children and my schoolwork. Okay, work is gonna be work. You can't do anything about that. So when you go to work, you're gonna be doing work. It is what it is. There's nothing I can change about that. So I have my schedules for when I went to what job, what time, and all of that. But at the end of the day, what was really important to me and what I had to focus on getting completed in the day was taking care of my kids and doing my schoolwork. And so sometimes it meant I went to bed and there were dishes in the sink or their toys were scattered all over the living room. Sometimes that meant that laundry basket of clothes was a little overloaded. Sometimes that meant I didn't get to vacuum, okay? So sometimes I had to do things or let go of things that weren't productive to what it was I was trying to do, which was the main thing was taking care of my kids and making sure I did okay with class. So once I got caught up with my schoolwork, then okay, now my deadlines are met. I submitted my papers. Okay, now I can go clean this house like thoroughly, like thoroughly clean and feel relaxed and comfortable now that I have this done. Instead of cleaning, trying to hurry up and doing a half-ass job of it, just to come back, just for me not to be satisfied with the job I did. It's more so let that wait until I get these other 2 things done. Until I get the kids fed, washed up, and put in the bed. Until I get the kids dressed for school. Until I get, finished with this, get off of this job. Those were the things that I had to do. So I had to let go of some stuff in order to meet those goals that I had, to meet what it was I was working on. And so that's what I'm saying with you. Sometimes we have to reflect on what it is we're doing. You get caught up. So what if I got caught up with taking care of them kids, and after they went to bed, I sat there on the couch and watched some TV. Now my schoolwork is behind. The house is a mess. The kids are in the bed, but now I'm tired. I have to go to sleep. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do my job or take care of the kids. You see what I'm saying? So if I took a moment to reflect, if you at that point you take a moment to reflect, what am I doing with my time? Then I can see this is what I'm doing that's not productive towards what it is that's important to me, or what it is that I'm trying to work on, or the goals that I'm trying to reach. And so that's how you use meditation in order to refocus yourself, to reflect on what it is you're doing and, rework it. Figure out a different way, come up with a new plan, write out a schedule, get a routine set up, whatever it takes for you to get back focused on what's important to you and getting those goals met. So I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share, because if you got something out of this content, chances are someone else had as well. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.